Hi there, BookTube! My name is Cristina and today I'm here with a non-spoiler review for Wizardmatch by Lauren Magaziner, not sure about the pronunciation, just as usual. So, today I'm happy to be here in order to review this book that I read quite a bit of time ago, but I prepared a full review for it, so I'm happy that finally I'm able to film it. This is, first of all, a children's / middle grade book that is very funny and enjoyable. The younger you are, the more you will probably enjoy it. This book is a perfect combination of fantasy and humor, which are the two main focus points of this book. So everything that is fantasy related, like the magic system and so on, is at the same time humorful. So there is a lot to smile and laugh about, and sometimes, since it's very for children at some points, yeah, it can get a little tiny bit gross but still funny. In this book we follow our main protagonist, whose name is Lenny, and she is one of 17 cousins. So she is also a bigger sister, so she has a smaller and younger brother. And the whole point of this book is, of course, the Wizardmatch. So what we're talking about, this book starts with a premise. So Lenny is part of a very special family that has magic that runs throughout their veins, and each and every member of the family, which is quite a huge family, has a tiny little bit of magical powers. For example, on her side of the family, she, her mother and her brother are able to become invisible, and other branches of the family are able to do other stuff. But let's get back to her. She's a half Filipino girl who is trying to find her place in the world, and the thing that she wants the most is to become the prime wizard, just as her grandfather is. Her grandfather is the prime wizard that holds all of the powers, so he is pretty much a power player. He can do anything he wants, he has unlimited powers, and he's just having the best of it, because somehow, even if he's very old, being very powerful made him a child. Very old, but still a child. So he's childish, he just does what he wants, and he's a bit of an egoist. But this is something that he has in common with Lenny, because Lenny is kind of an interesting character to follow throughout the story, because she is a young girl, but she is very believable, because she's not perfect character. You are not forced to like her throughout all of the story. At some points she makes some very dumb decisions, and at some other points she's quite unlikable, and you really want to scream at her and tell her that she is doing wrong and that she's hurting people that are around her. But this is the reason why I enjoyed this book so much, because it was very believable. Because I mean, being a young girl in the situation in which she is put, it's quite plausible that you become a bit of an egoist and that you try to do whatever you can to just stand out and be special and be more considered than others. It just happens among kids, it's natural. So I really appreciated that part. But let's get back to the story. So she is one of 17 cousins, and her grandfather is the the prime wizard. And what he has to do is that at a certain point in his life he needs to just pass on his powers, these unlimited powers, to just one member of his family. So what he decides to create and to start is a wizard match. So all of his nephews for him, probably, grandchildren, all of his grandchildren are forced to gather together and compete one against the other in order to gain all of the power. So this is where the story really gets its start and its kick. So as you imagine, this brings a huge amount of difficult moments and family drama, and just the whole process of discovering who you are and what you want to do and how much you are willing to do in order to just reach your goal, and what is the meaning of family for you, what is the meaning of brotherhood for you. And the things that I really appreciated about this book was, first of all, the absolute absence of a romance. So if you're not liking romances, like particularly, then this is the book for you, just perfect. 0 romances are assured. And the second thing that I appreciated very much was the meaning and the importance that the book gave to family bonds and just to the relationship that you may have with all the members of your family. I really found that it was well done and quite believable and just enjoyable overall. The other thing that was very believable again and credible was the fact that all of the adults were quite flawed. So they weren't perfect. Usually it happens in some children's book when you see children struggling and they have these perfect parents that are there to solve the day. This is not the case. Parents, they have a lot of issues to just deal with and to solve, and they're just humans, so they make huge mistakes and they just need to somehow fix the situation that they created by themselves. There were 2 main very important themes that were touched by this book. The first one is the meaning of being half, in this case, half Filipino girl. So our protagonist, she faces a bit of difficulties and challenges and obstacles, and sometimes she imagines that she is facing obstacles just because she is half Filipino. And this is something that is absolutely common nowadays. There are so many people of a mixed race, of mixed skin color, and of mixed wherever you want, just because we are mixing and mingling each and every day, and this is amazing. But sometimes we still struggle to find our identity, and we're afraid to show to the world who we are, and we're afraid that the world is judging us, not because of what we are, but because of a lot of other things that are on the outside. So this is one of the themes. The second very important theme that I noticed here is the feeling of being diminished as a female character. So in a lot of points in this book, you see our main protagonist struggling with this fact, just the fact that she is a female and that for some reason someone says her that she cannot do something just because she's a female. So it really becomes a kind of a battle for her to just demonstrate that they are wrong and that she wants to do what she wants to do and that she will achieve this result. Being a male or a female, it really doesn't matter. It is all about skills and what you're willing to do to reach your goal. The downside of this book, just the one that I found that I didn't enjoy very much, was the final resolution. It was a bit too quick and without the kind of consequences that I was hoping for. So some points were not very clearly solved, and I hoped for a bit more of a face-to-face between some characters just to solve the situation and to clearly give an end to all of the things that happened. But somehow the author decided to leave the things a little bit more on a superficial, let's say, level, even if it's not the most exact word here. For example, the author decides not to give a lot of explanations on why the adults behave in a certain way, which can be believable if you think that maybe the whole story is told from a children's point of view. So adults usually, they don't really explain why they act as they act. This is something that I found credible, even if I really hoped for a more decisive kind of conclusion for the book. So overall, I may tell you that I found this book silly and funny and full of very vivid images. At some points you can really smell some things or see them just as the author imagined them, because the explanations are very clear and very again vivid. And it was a very quick read, so I really finished it in a couple of days probably, and I believe that it will be perfect for all of the young readers or parents who are willing to read to young readers, or even adults. Why not? I still enjoyed it so much, it made me laugh, so I hope that you will enjoy it too in the future if you will read it. And if you already read it, then just let me know down below in the comments what were your thoughts about it, because I'm curious to know what you think about it. And this is it for my video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye! Ciao!